Hello. Today we're going to go over the ability to use Signl4 in conjunction with Dynatrace to better alert your team members and offer an option for escalation and persistent notifications, as well as collaboration and duty scheduling using the Signl4 app. So we'll see here that I have both my Signl4 app from my phone up on the right and the Signl4 web portal up here in the center. First thing we need to do is, inside of our Dynatrace, we need to create an API that can be used with Signl4. So in order to do that, you need to go into Dynatrace and go under Manage, and then Access Tokens. Inside here, you want to generate a new token, and give this token a name. I named mine Signl4, and then give it the API rights to be able to read and write to and from an outside system. So if I go back to my access tokens, we'll see here I have one created for Signl4. You're going to want to make sure you make a copy of the API key, because once you click on Save and Create, you'll never be able to get back to see that API key. So you need to make sure you have that, because we're going to need that in the next step. So once that's created here inside of Dynatrace, the next thing we need to do is go over back to our Signl4. And inside of Signl4, we want to go into the teams. And then from here, you're going to need to choose which team you want to create your Dynatrace connector in. In our case, we're going to do it under the Superheroes team. So I already have Superheroes selected. So I just need to click on the Apps button. And now on the Apps page, if you scroll down, you should see an option for Dynatrace. So what you're going to want to do is click on the Create option here. And inside of this Dynatrace connector is where we need to enter our information. So the first thing you're going to want to enter is inside of this instance URI. Go ahead and enter whatever the URI is for your Dynatrace system. And then the second line is the API key. And this is the key that we just created inside of Dynatrace. So go ahead and copy and paste that into this field here. Now the other options here have to do with what kind of tickets do you want to come from Dynatrace over to Signl4 to alert your team members. And we have multiple options here. So we have filter problem severity, and by default this is going to be selected to all. However, you can do availability events, error events, or performance events, any combination of these options. We're going to go ahead and leave this as default selected all, and then move on to our next option, which is filter problem impact. And again, by default this is selected to all. However, you can select the drop down and change this to whichever option you would like to choose. We have infrastructure, application, or environment, and you can mix and match any choices you want on this option as well. So if you only want to receive infrastructure, you just uncheck application and environment, and you only get events on infrastructure issues. However, for our purposes today, I'm going to go ahead and leave all options checked and leave that up. Now, do we want to retrieve events during maintenance? This option allows you to continue to receive events from Dynatrace even during maintenance windows. Finally, our last one is the entity health is unhealthy or healthy. When these options are checked, the Dynatrace entity that is being monitored will send alerts with both healthy and unhealthy statuses. However, if you uncheck healthy and just leave unhealthy checked, then you will only receive events from that entity during the unhealthy windows, or vice versa. Once all that is saved, go ahead and click on the Create button, and that'll save the option, and it'll bring you back into this Apps window, and you'll now see your new Dynatrace connector, and it should have a blue enabled connection, letting you know that the connection is solid and Signl4 is connecting to Dynatrace correctly and receiving events from Dynatrace. So now once this is done, if we go back into Dynatrace and go back into our problems, we'll see that any problem that comes into Dynatrace will create a problem inside of here, but it'll also send us an event to Signl4 and create the alert for your users inside of Signl4. So let me go ahead and we'll see an event come in here. So now we see a new event inside of our Dynatrace, and if I click on that, it'll open up and we see that it is a VPN is down error. So now if I go back to my Signl4 and go back to the signals page, we will see that there's a new Signl4 error with all the information from Dynatrace in it. We'll also see that my user, since I am on duty, I have been alerted via my first alerting message profile, which is my phone call. And if I go back over to my mobile app, we'll see that right there I just got my second one, which is the SMS message. And we'll see in my app I have the alert, and it shows in here. And if I go ahead and acknowledge that alert, we'll see the acknowledgement show up inside of your Signl4 Alerting Center. There you go. We see my acknowledgement. And if I go back into my Dynatrace and refresh this event, we now see that the problem was confirmed in Signl4 by Robert and my user. Now if I go back into my mobile app, and now I want to go into the event, and this time I'm going to go ahead and add an annotation inside of my event. So now we have an annotation inside of the Signl4 mobile app, and if I go back into my Dynatrace and refresh again, we will see this annotation show up inside the Dynatrace event. And there it is right there, Robert at Signl4. Now then, if I go ahead and close my Signl4 event, and you'll see there that I've already hit on the close button, and refresh, and we see the Robert has closed the event. Now I'm going to come back over here to my Dynatrace and refresh one more time, and then we see that problem was resolved in Signl4 by Robert. So that's everything traveling to Signl4, and then Signl4 alert statuses traveling to Dynatrace again. Now let's send in another event, and if I go back into my Dynatrace problems, we see a new event came into Dynatrace, and this time we're going to go back into my mobile app, and my user is going to go ahead and acknowledge the event. And once again, we're going to see this acknowledgement inside of Dynatrace, and we see my acknowledgement. However, this time I'm going to close the problem inside of the Dynatrace event, and I close that. Now if I go back to my mobile app, and after a minute or so, the status is going to travel from Dynatrace back over to Signl4, and this alert will be automatically closed. And there you see that the alert is now closed. And if I scroll down to the bottom, we'll see that the closed by event source or API. That means that the event source / API sent a closed status, and the event has been closed because of that. And that's just a brief summary of our Signl4 and Dynatrace two-way connector. This is just some of the many ways Signl4 can help improve your time to incident closure or incident resolution by sending the right alerts to the right people at the right time. You can sign up for a free Signl4 trial at signl4.com/free-trial-test. And this is a completely free trial for 30 days with no credit card required. Thank you and have a nice day.